was bound for God knows where, with a worn out copy of On the Road and the wind in my hair. I chasing my shadow all the while the sun burnt off the dew. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm looking for you. Across the Appalachians and on down into Tennessee, the I-40 into Nashville and the Grand Ole Opry. Spent the night in Memphis with friends at the rendezvous. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm looking for you. Followed the Mississippi all the way to New Orleans, and down in the French Quarter for a plate of rice and beans. It's a town of ghosts and gypsies and jambalaya too. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm looking for you. Said I'm looking for you. Cut across to Austin and I hung out on 6th Street for hot and sweaty music, cold beer and little sleep. I slept in my car in a parking lot beneath the Texas moon. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm looking for you. Said I'm looking for you. Better part of the next day just crossing that Lone Star State, El Paso, then New Mexico, and on up into Santa Fe. My car broke down outside of town, I had to sit for a day or two. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm looking for you. Said I'm looking for you. Rolled into Colorado, humming Rocky Mountain High. I put the top down on the Eldorado, man, and just enjoyed the ride. I made Cheyenne by nightfall, left the next afternoon. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm looking for you. I said I'm looking for you, babe. Rolled into Montana, but I had to travel on. I crossed into Alberta like an Ian Tyson song. The wild rose country beneath the sky so blue. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm looking for you. Said I'm looking for you, babe. Trans-Canada Highway, well, I crossed the Great Divide, Coquihalla to Vancouver, all along this mystery ride. And when I crossed back into Washington, I picked up my first clue. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm looking for you. I said I'm looking for you, babe. To LA, all the way on 101, stopping along the way to watch another setting sun. I spent a week beneath the stars outside Santa Cruz. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm looking for you. Said I'm looking for you, babe. Got no ending, man, this song has just begun. And if you spend your time pretending you've won races you ain't run, when all the while all you need was something to ring true. And of everywhere I've been, I was looking for you. Now how do you do? How do you do? How do you do? How do you do?
No.
Why don't we do a take two?
Wait a minute. Let's start again. Hello.
Hi, this is Ron Vodry.
This is Alex Nussbaum.
This is Jason Fraser.
This is Matt O'Brien.
Hey, this is Ray Zwicker.
All right, world. My name is Cal Post.
Guys, this is Christina Walkinshaw.
This is Eddie Delaseppe.
This is Adrian Spencer.
My name is Timo.
And you're listening to the Julien Dionne
You're listening to the Julien Dionne Comedy Hour podcast.
Who am I talking to? What am I doing?
Julien Dionne Comedy Hour.
You're listening to the... son.
Comedy hour. See, I took the word out comedy. Changes the meaning completely, doesn't it?
Dazing. Not really. I'm overworking, but dazing. The holidays. Happy holidays. You're listening to the Julien Dionne Comedy Hour podcast.
And aren't we all?
Now broadcasting live and totally uncensored, from Lemon Press Studio in the beautiful Gatineau Hills.
Project. I was like half asleep on the couch and now I'm projecting.
Hey everyone, this is Christian Potenza.
This is Gay Trevor Wilson.
This is Jean Paul, a.k.a. the Island Hipster, hashtag hipster business.
This is Steph Tola.
Hey, this is Jake Goldsby.
This is Sky Wallace.
Hey everybody, this is Erica Sigurdsson, aka Ricky Siggs.
Okay, hello. Hi.
This is Howard Wagman.
Hey, this is Peter Anthony, the PA system.
This is Matt O'Brien.
Some people like that's my rap name.
This is Jen Grant and you're listening to the Julien Dionne Comedy Hour podcast.
Show. You and me belong, just like the flowers, laughing all day long. People, I need you loose. Sing a little song, then take a shower. Julien Dionne.
It's a show. It's not an hour. It's a show. It's okay.
A beautiful waste of time.
Yep. Yeah, huh? Shut up.
A waste
Shit.
of time.
Count with me.
A beautiful
Buddy.
waste
For me.
of time.
Yeah.
A waste of
What the hell are we doing? Welcome to the show, everybody.
I went to
All right.
school. Yeah, I learned a lot.
2, 3.
Got a degree
Tell me more.
in what I've
In
got.
what?
You spend your life
Doing what?
looking for what
Looking
you
for what?
already got.
Oh, you already have it.
It's such a
Yeah.
beautiful
Wait, what?
waste of time.
Oh, welcome to the show, everybody. It's the Julien Dionne Show live on a Friday, September 25th. The 25th day of September in the 20th year of 2000. In the 2000s.
You okay?
Not really, generally speaking or specifically? What are we doing? Welcome. We are, of course, live. As we are Mondays through Fridays, usually at 7 a.m., but this morning, week 2 of 4 of Far West Fridays,
Love it.
broadcasting to you live from Lemon Press Studios in the beautiful Gatineau Hills. Hi, at 10 a.m. Eastern.
Fun.
Today, Vancouver's very funny comedian Charles Demers will be
Yes.
joining us in the second hour at some point.
Can't wait.
That's why we're a little bit late. I had to install Skype because we're doing a Skype thing, which we usually don't do. This shirt, I think, Sigurda, makes me yellow. The lighting, the coloring is all weird.
Let's see.
It's by the way, let me do a white balance. Oh, that makes it worse. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. Facebook.com/Julien Dionne Show. Like the page. And YouTube on the Julien Dionne Show channel. Available now. Or it's live there. Also, Periscope, Twitch, and Daily Motion. Welcome. Thank you. And then available on demand wherever you get your podcasts. Wherever you get your Let's turn that down a notch. That's a bit aggressive.
What the heck?
Seriously? Oh, so sweet. 2, 3, 4.
Okay?
All right. It's Friday, so this is what I like to do on Fridays. You know me.
I sure do.
Yeah, it looks fine. I don't look orange.
No.
Anyway.
No.
It's Friday, so wait for it.
Whoa.
Wait for it. Open the throat.
You sure know how to party.
Yes, non-alcoholic Heine. It's 10 a.m., so feel free to whip yours out.
Whoa.
Whip yours out Fridays. It's actually 10:18, so, you know, it's 5:18 somewhere.
Oh, my God.
Shit. Jen Grant is with us, the beautiful and talented Jennifer Grantington.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good Morgan. I do that now.
Morgan.
Yes, and we're huge in Germany. So, to any Germans out there,
enormous.
it's so in Germany it would be what if it's usually
1, so it'd be 3 hours later, so it would be 4. Did you just burp?
Yeah, it was really gross. I know, but I couldn't.
Did it sneak up?
Yeah, let's say it did.
It didn't, though?
Let me turn this off.
Let's say it did.
And by the way, thank you for being with us. If you are with us, let's do this. We're going to, so Charlie or Charles, he goes by Charles now
well,
all the time?
As a comedian, I don't know if maybe we'll ask him if he's still Charlie Demers when it comes to comedy. And then, because he's also a writer, he does so much.
Do you think anybody's like, have you ever heard of Charles Demers? No, I haven't. Funny comedian out of Vancouver.
Oh,
Charlie. Yes, I have heard of Charlie. I know Charlie really well. Just know Charlie. Right. He'll be joining us. He's promoting a book.
Yeah, I can't wait. He's a really funny, smart guy. And yeah, sometimes that happens with name. Like, this isn't the case with Charlie, but there's 2 Steve Pattersons in Canadian comedy.
Yes.
So one had to change his name.
Yeah.
Because they're both very...
Diane Richards.
Son. I had to add that. Oh, stop it.
But yeah, so this is, excuse me, we're doing week 2 of 4, Far West Fridays, because we do, you know, being comedians in a former life, semi-retired comedians.
Why comedians?
I don't know. We know people, it's fun, and it makes it like, hey, we're silly all the time, right?
Oh my goodness. Or people are like, what's a comedian? Like,
comedian. Shit, I'm getting a phone call. Can you talk for 1 sec? I feel like this is important. Nah, I don't know.
Go ahead.
It feels important.
I don't mind. Should I just do the Daily Dose right now? No, because I like to talk to you when I'm doing the Daily Dose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Can you literally kill the time? I would never do this usually, but
unreal. I can't believe that. What the heck? So yeah, thanks for joining. I'm not used to this because Julien always leads the conversation and he just threw me under the bus. So I'm trying to remember. Hello? Oh, I thought he was back on. PM says, good morning. So does Laura. Good morning, PM and Laura. PM says, this bottle opener is ostentatious. I love it. You know, Julien for a while was opening bottles with his ring that he has on his finger. And he, I think he like ruined his ring because it got misshapen from doing that. And he'll also then he'll put it in his fingers, and you know when you do that snap thing of a cap, and almost took out my eye one time. So He uses the bottle opener now. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Anyways, so it's Friday. We are interviewing Charlie Demers coming up. Charles Demers as an author. He actually wrote a book and he does so much. So I'm really excited to talk to him. I met him back in Vancouver. Just to give you a little backstory, I'll tell a little bit of this when we introduce him. But is everybody able to see us? Because all of a sudden I have an issue here. Sorry, we're having trouble playing this video. So when I met Charlie, I used to live in Vancouver, and I love Vancouver so much. And he started doing comedy and really blew everybody away because he's so good, and he's been doing it a while now, actually, a long time. And but I had just moved to Vancouver from Ottawa, and yeah, he's just amazing. He's been on CBC The Debaters for many times, and let me just check to make sure that we're still live. Julian? Jules?
So I'm so sorry. Oh,
no, it's
my
okay.
God.
I don't think we're live anymore.
Really?
I've been trying to see. And
actually?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So.
Well, we are on still. It looks like we are.
Because all of a sudden my video didn't play.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Well, sometimes it does that, but I think we are still live. Anyway, regardless if we are live or not, we are.
I really kind of stalled, but I kind of blanked on what to say because I kept on thinking you were coming back.
I'm so sorry.
I could hear you talking, and
I'm
I thought you were
really
yeah,
sorry.
I don't see it on the page at all.
Really?
No.
At all.
Like,
are we live? Well, whatever. If you are listening to this on demand, this is for your ears. This is every Friday we do this.
True.
I think
it says you're good for sound. Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's okay.
I think we're back. I think we're fully back.
Go Gent. Laura says go Gent. It looks good now. Oh, okay.
All right. Okay, good.
Weird.
Thank you. And sorry, I really,
no,
really,
I don't mind.
really,
It's
really,
okay. It's okay. I should probably always have stuff prepared in case you do that because I kind of went day.
It was for this gala I'm doing next Saturday, and it's literally a week from now, which causes me the urge to projectile vomit everywhere. And so usually my phone is on airplane mode, but then all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, and I didn't know what it was for. Anyway, so I absolutely had to take it. I'm really sorry that I would never.
I think you could have called them back, but that's okay.
No, honestly.
Why?
Well,
was somebody in heart surgery?
No,
and they had to know which valve to suck the.
No, it's complicated, but I had to take it.
So it's as complicated as heart surgery. Okay.
Well, I'll tell. Okay,
no,
for sure.
No,
let's get into it.
Don't.
Definitely not heart surgery. Well, I'm not with my manager anymore, so I'm independent, but I still work with my manager. So instead of them managing my whole career and stuff, the odd gig and stuff will come through them, and we still have an amicable work relationship. It just wasn't working as a full management thing. And so it was him. And now that we're not officially, manager artist relation, I feel like I should take the call when I can because I don't know how easy it is to get back on the phone. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Yeah.
Am I forgiven?
Totes my floats, my boats.
We are experiencing some lags on the internet. See, this is why. Remember we were asking the other day we wanted to sleep in.
Yeah.
You're like, why the fuck do we get up at 5 a.m. to do the show at 7? This is it right now. We're on Farways Fridays. It's 10 a.m. This is week 2. This is why I wanted to try the 4 weeks rather than say from now on every Friday we're going to be live at 10.
I tend to agree with you.
Because the internet sucks right now and it's choppy. The video is choppy, but I think the audio is fine. So whatever. Let's just plow through and ignore it.
Would you guys agree with that the video is choppy and the sound is good?
Has
the sound been consistent? I'm just curious what they're going to say.
Really obnoxious.
What?
The internet thing. Like in the morning, we've got top speeds. Because again, we're broadcasting to you from the woods, the beautiful woods and the beautiful Gatineau beautiful woods.
Hey.
And anyway. So I had to take that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of relieved because there's two things that were coming up, and one of them is not happening anymore.
Okay.
So it's just one.
Okay.
And which is good. I mean, you can only do so much.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. So he said things have changed, but they were really this and that. So, but now that's not happening. But the other one is the contract has been signed. I didn't even know how much this. Anyway.
What, money and stuff?
Yeah, so I needed to ask that because it's weird to get booked for something you had no clue what anything. So I had to get some details, and I've been trying to link up with him over the last couple days, and then my phone's ringing, and I'm like, it's going to be quick, so let me take it. That's why I took the call.
You doing? Are you just doing one TV taping now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Which one?
Yeah, the one on October 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other one
in Moncton.
What? No. That one I'm doing. I'm doing the Moncton.
Oh, okay.
So next Friday, from the Capitol Theater in Moncton, there's next Friday, next Saturday, and then I think the Saturday of the week after, Hubcap Comedy Festival in Moncton is doing they're doing shows, social distancing shows out of the Capitol Theater with some live acts locally. They're booking all New Brunswick acts, whether you're living there now actively or from there but have moved out of New Brunswick. So they're hosting kind of like these. I don't know why I repeat the same things 9 times. You understand, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of live acts, but some pre-tape. So I'm going to pre-tape a set from here, just sitting at the desk like I'm doing now. Do 15 minutes of comedy, and then that's going to be played in a theater, the Capitol Theater in Moncton.
Oh my goodness, funny. Are any of your friends going to that show?
I don't think so. I don't know. Good question. It just started promoting it now, so that's already. But that's what I'm finding right now. Like, things are so last minute. Like the thing I'm doing next Saturday at Saint Denis Theater in Montreal. I just got booked on it 2 weeks ago or whatever. And it's like,
and I just got booked on something yesterday.
Yeah, for a last minute.
Last minute, that's happening.
Can you say it? Are you allowed to say it?
Yep.
Say it. Very cool.
In less than a month, I'm going to be doing a TV taping for the Winnipeg Comedy Festival.
Yeah, that's awesome. So
yeah.
How are you feeling about it?
Well, you know what? I'm feeling like weirdly calm about it. I don't know why. I think it's because we're all in the same boat. Like no comedian is feeling like prepared. Some might feel more prepared than others, but I have chosen to not do many live shows, any since this lockdown, because I have a family member who's compromised immunity-wise. So I didn't want to expose myself unless it was for, a really important reason or something they really needed to do. And so I'm really out of practice. I've never in my 20 plus years have I ever come anywhere near this long not performing. It's insane.
Yeah.
So
what's 6 months now? February.
7 months. It'll be 7 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So I think so. 7 months. Yeah.
And so your first setback after a 7-month break, which is unprecedented.
Yeah.
Unprecedented.
Yep.
New normal. Your first setback will be a televised set
Correct.
for the CBC for the Winnipeg Comedy Festival. That's
yes.
fun.
Now I said to one of my friends, I said, who's also doing the festival, I said, "Oh my goodness!" Like I said exactly what you just said, and she said, "Well, we're all in the same boat."
That's the thing I was just about to say.
Like they're not, and also one thing that I have to say, I saw a comedian say that it's not like riding a bike, but I disagree. I 1000%, like, I don't think that I'm going to step on the stage and be like, I know the difference between doing a bunch of shows in a row and then getting up on stage and how that feels versus having a big long break. But I think I'm not going to go in cocky, because I think that's when I've made mistakes, is when I've taken too long and I haven't been prepared for something. And then I go on cocky, then I really mess up because
Right.
I'm thinking, and that's always been the case. from my point of view in comedy. Like when you're not prepared but you think you are, that's when you get into trouble. But I'm going to go in with the perspective of I know this material. I have 20 plus years. A 7-month break is not going to affect me to the point where I can't handle this as a professional. Exactly. Like no matter what, I'm going to do a good job. And everyone in the crowd knows that it's a weird time. So it's really cool that we get to even do this, So people are nice. People understand.
Yeah, people. And like you said, everybody's in this. If you were the only one, if everybody was doing 5-10 sets a week leading up to and you had 7 months off, they freak out. But, the like riding a bike comment, I think that was from Paul Reiser on Real Time with Bill Maher. He was a guest, and Jay Leno was also on panel, which is really cool to see, 3 old school road comics together. Just like, it was really funny. And then so Bill asked Paul Reiser, he's like, so Paul, you took 20 years, you're returning to stand-up after a 20-year break. How is like after 20 years in doing it, is it just like riding a bike? And he said it's like pushing a bike uphill with your eye.
20 years is a little different too.
Yeah, in 7 months.
And also I feel like he
also
No, it's okay, but I don't know how many years he had before he quit either or stopped or had a break. Like had he been doing it 25 years before he took a break, you know what I mean? So I feel like that makes a difference too. If he had been doing it 10 years and took a 20-year break, then that's different than doing it 22 or 23 years and then taking a break. Yeah, so I'm not too concerned because you know how I feel too? This is one thing you learn from stand-up that I think you can apply to regular life is like, no one's going to die. So what? Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? I know that I can handle it. It's not a big deal. And that TV show that they're going to air, they want it to look good too. So they'll make it look good.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing with TV sets is you can't, it's really hard to fail. I mean, you might in the room, but they'll make it look good on TV.
And I doubt it. Like that's the other thing that's really cool about stand-up is you reach a point where you can't go down as bad. Like I used to bomb really bad. Like I've definitely bombed horrifically.
Yeah, that stops happening to a certain extent. I mean, and also honestly doing this every morning helps.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because it's not stand-up and it's not formulated that way or presented that way, but just to talk into a microphone and gain confidence in your skill set and your ability to just stream of consciousness and kind of think on your feet, it kind of keeps that sharp. And then when you go on stage, it's
well, if that,
I mean, it's not this. Obviously, it's not the same, but it does kind of help in a weird way.
For sure, I could see that. But if what I just displayed while you took a phone call is any indication.
I missed it. So what did you talk about?
Oh, I was just a blabbering idiot.
What did you say?
Repeated all the stuff I said about Charlie Demers and was like trying to remember what we were just talking about. That's the other thing that's really cool about this show and feeling like you're in the moment, because when you're in the moment, you kind of forget what you're talking about. So I was thinking, when we forget what we talk about, it's not like we're going crazy or we have no memory. It's because we're actually really present. And
that was a 2-minute phone call. So that's a long time, and I really I would never ever do that. And my phone's on airplane mode now. And
I was gonna say, what did we learn?
That's so condescending. What did we learn? Turn off your phone. So anyway, if you are just joining us, it's week 2 of Far West Fridays on the Julien Dionne Show. We are live on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope, Twitch, and Dailymotion. And we're having, I don't know, not the best internet, but we'll get through it. And of course, so if the broadcast is choppy at any point, just remember that we are available on demand wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Google, Spotify, all of the places. We are there, and that is uninterrupted broadcast quality beauty.
And can I just say that Laura says audio is sweet. She said video is not too bad, not the worst. So you know what? I don't think with our show anybody's like glued to the screen nonstop watching.
Wow, rude.
But it's true. I don't think it like I'm sure some people sit there and watch the entire time.
Yeah.
but I bet you it's not as well. Obviously, it's not as important as the audio.
Truthfully, we do this. We only add the audio element because everybody is like, video is the future. Everybody's saying that. So.
Oh yeah.
So we have sorry. Week 2 of 4 Far West Fridays at Vancouver's Charles Demers will join us through Skype. And it's so annoying. I couldn't remember my Skype password today. And, okay, I'm all for password security, but can we agree that some services can maybe be a little, like, let a couple things slide?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had to come up with it's like, this is for Skype.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, must start with a special character, and I started with a special character. Must have at least one capital letter. I'm like, okay. Then I've got a special character in a letter, and I do my password. Must contain number, so it has to have a special character, a cap, and a number in it. So then I do one. It's like, oh, can't use that. That's an old password. You can't use your last 10 passwords.
Come on.
So and over the years of having a Skype account, I've been locked out of it and have just used the same variation of the password, but so, I mean, you can only use the same variation, so it's like, okay, change to the cap, put the special character at the end, the number in the beginning, like flip that. So it's like, no, you can't use your 10 last password. I mean, it's Skype. Can we, for my bank, fine, but what's going to happen if someone's hacks my Skype?
I wonder if Skype is like,
Go
shit,
ahead.
we really missed the boat with the Zoom thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder. Because Zoom did really come out on top through this lockdown.
Unreal.
But I was reading, some are better for different things, but...
that password thing is really funny.
It's so annoying. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
And then crosswalks and... how many...
And then, so I just went through that. I like the exact same thing. Pick the pictures with streetlights in it. I'm like, okay, I click on 4 pictures. Now choose with cars in it. I'm like, okay, Jesus, Skype.
I know. It feels like you're going back to like daycare where they were saying, circle where there's a flower. Hello?
Just taking a sip at the something. Ooh.
What?
I don't know, that drink of... non-alcoholic Heine tasted like it had alcoholic in it.
Alcoholic in it. Ew. Please stop.
Anyway, so all that to say, I've got a new password. And it's... I'll tell you the... Well, no, I won't tell you the password. But it's so simple.
Weird.
Now I'm reaching. So, by the way, so now that... so I was supposed to do these 2 things, and one chain fell through, and so the other, I'm just doing the one. But so now, after next Saturday, we can officially go to New Brunswick for a bit.
Why?
Won't have any more commitments or contracts. That's the last kind of thing.
Well, I have a commitment.
Oh, Winnipeg.
Mm-hmm.
You can't do that out of New Brunswick.
No.
No, I mean, like, you couldn't fly out of there?
Oh.
Well, we'll figure it out. I mean, we don't have to talk about this on the air.
Yeah, that's
but
right. But I would have to, what do you call it?
Have to be soon.
What do you call that? You have to isolate. I'd have to isolate. I don't care. It's fine.
When you get back. Well, we're going to have to when we go down. Oh, well, you would.
If anybody has any leads on some cute
New Brunswick.
cottages in Shediac.
Southeast New Brunswick, if we have any listeners watching there, Moncton, surrounding areas, we're looking.
We're looking for somewhere we can rent for a few months.
Because it's really looking like all this is going to shit, so... I mean, it's really down to the wire. It's either we're going to go down to New Brunswick for a couple months in the next few days soon, or spend the entire winter in our house again.
Yeah. Well, you don't, it's not just you that wants to see your family too. I want to see them but you really you don't, I get to see my family here. You haven't seen them in a long time. Like, this is crazy.
It's too long.
And, I was saying to someone, this is just a fun, different experience, right? As long as we follow all the rules, and we want to anyway, because I don't want to catch anything. I don't want to give anybody anything. And, it's starting to really feel like a second wave I know a lot of people don't get really sick from this, but I still don't want it.
Yeah.
I'd like to do my very best to avoid getting it. So
could not agree more, Jennifer.
And I know some people, not like I know them. I know who they are, and they have tested positive. Yeah. So, and I don't think anyone is like, I don't know, unless you're 20 years old and you're careless, and I'm not saying every 20-year-old's like this, but I think most people are careful is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Right? And if they're catching it, then
yeah.
You just never know.
I just wanted to be all over. Me.
Yeah, I don't think you're alone on that.
That was the joke. I was making it about
you?
Me.
Well, good job.
I got to take this quick phone call. I am so sorry.
No, you're not.
I cannot
No,
believe
you're
it.
not.
No.
Oh, you little.
Daily dose.
Come on.
Get the news from coast to coast. Daily dose. Daily dose. All your news from coast to coast. All the news and headlines from Jen Grant.
And here's your daily dose for Friday, September 25th. I almost said 24th. That would have been
dude,
embarrassing.
how dare you?
So I know this will interest you, Jules, that there was a demonstration protesting the COVID-19 restrictions last weekend north of Montreal.
Yeah.
And there's all these different leaders that are kind of coming out of leaders, quote unquote, of like far right movements and evangelical movements coming in. And I guess what they're doing is this article was just kind of looking at who's involved and what's going on. Kind of like how you're like,
wait,
why?
What do you mean? There's
in
evangelicals
Quebec,
what?
Well, I'll tell you more about it as we get down into the story. But you were talking about how it's so weird how like Quebec has so many anti-maskers and these protests. Why Quebec? So this article kind of looked at who's involved in these like movements and who's sort of leading them and who are the speakers and what's behind all of this. And there's a few people that they highlighted. One was this man named Steve Lartisse-Charland. He was one of the speakers at this demonstration last weekend just north of Montreal, and he's a one-time leader of this far-right group, and now it got all quiet for a while because people were not that into the far. I guess it had way more popularity in the past, but hadn't for a while. But this COVID-19 restrictions and needing to wear a mask has reignited these groups. They've gotten all fired up again. And this demonstration was happening in a parking lot in Mont-Tremblant.
Yeah.
Which also made me think about when you said that area of Quebec is now an orange zone, right?
It's I got that wrong. It was actually south of Quebec City. I can't remember the name of the region, but I mixed that up.
Okay. Never mind. I was going to say, isn't that interesting? They're against masks and they have so many cases.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the province, generally in general, it's like got so many cases, and I think the most in Canada, and then they're the most anti-mask protests are happening in Quebec.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Than anywhere else.
Interesting. Yeah, it would be great if for their cause if there weren't a lot of cases in Quebec, but hello. So this Charland, hello. This Charland character, the speaker that I'm telling you about, a far right leader of a far right group, he told a crowd of 75 people in a parking lot, which doesn't sound like a huge movement, but hey, I guess everything's got to start somewhere.
Yep.
He said they are part of this is what he said. They're part of a cosmic struggle of good against evil.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. He said, it's us against them. He said, we're in a spiritual war. We're in a war of darkness against light.
This is what I was talking about yesterday about we sound like when you try to apply this kind of common sense logic to this situation, you sound like a 5-year-old throwing a tantrum.
Right.
And crying because you don't understand why you're wrong, but you are wrong compared to the researchers on this, like the actual.
Oh, I know, exactly. This movement in Quebec has drawn a wide range of other types of figures into this arena, including, and this is what I was talking about earlier, evangelical pastors, libertarian radio hosts, and conspiracy theorists. Together, they are seeking to undermine the government's efforts to fight the spread of COVID-19. So there's this Concordia University professor who is talking about why, kind of chiming in here in this article about why the evangelicalism is even part of this. And he says that this one particular speaker who is from this evangelical world, he says this particular strain of evangelicalism associates government control with godless communism or socialism. It is rooted in an apocalyptic worldview that shares many similarities with conspiracy thinking, which is paranoid of secret programs out to control us through vaccines or internet towers. This very much parallels the fictions that have developed in some evangelical circles about the eventual rise of one world government headed by an antichrist. Jesus,
right, yeah, that's where it stems from. Because it is said, it was predicted like in a lot of the scripture that towards the end times there will be like the mark of the beast where everybody will be forced this thing that you'll have to have it, and it'll be like, you know, a control thing, and this will be one of the signs of the apocalypse and end times, and that this is now happening with the with the government, which is trying to control the the spread of the virus. And nobody, I mean, it's changing all the time. People are coming out with different information since the beginning, and still 6 months in, people are like one day saying one thing, the next the other. So they're like, oh, see, this is it's all pointing to end times, evangelical end times, where it's like the mark of the mask is like the mark of the beast, or the vaccine. It's like they're going to force everybody to. That's what I'm finding is people are protesting mandatory vaccines. Where was it? Has it been said that
everybody,
it's going to be mandatory?
Right.
People associate the mask with the vaccine. It's all just bled into one thing, and it's just like, oh no, this is. Anyway.
You know what is interesting is that, like, back when polio was affecting so many people, don't you think people were excited about a vaccine? Like,
right.
I don't understand why people...
I wonder if people were
I mean, I'm sure there were some people that were like, don't give me a vaccine. But, like, that used to be a major issue, and because of a vaccine, it's, you know, it's helped, basically, is what I'm trying to say, is vaccines can help a lot.
Well, people are just not trusting it right now. People are not trusting... like Andrew Cuomo, governor of New York, came out yesterday and said he would not trust the federal government for any of the, like, when it comes to vaccines. That's crazy.
I know.
I mean, so even just in the beginning of this, when polled, 72% of people said they would take the vaccine if it
72?
Yeah, but now it's 51%, which is a huge drop. But it's because of conspiracy theories and all this. And
I think some people seem to believe, even if they're not conspiracy theorists, they seem to believe that, well, it's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
Even if you get it. Like, I think many people still think of it as not much. Like, they think it's worse than the flu, but they think, well, you'll still live through it, so you'll be okay.
Right.
But I just don't even want that in my system. Get it out. Get it out.
Get it out.
Get it out.
Anyway.
So yeah, so here's shifting gears here. Teenage environmentalist activist Greta Thunberg. Do you remember her?
Of course.
She joined, just in case you don't know, which I'm surprised anybody would ever not know, but she joined fellow demonstrators outside Swedish Parliament on Friday to kick off a day of physically distanced global climate protests. She said the main hope is, as always, to try to have an impact on the level of awareness and public opinion so that people will start becoming more aware. The 17-year-old, imagine, 17, how much she's done already.
Mm.
If she didn't do anything else in her lifetime, she's done a lot.
More
enough.
than most.
Yeah, she's done more than most by far. The 17-year-old told reporters that the coronavirus outbreak has prevented the Fridays for future movement that that Greta inspired from holding its mass rallies in recent months, and that kind of lowered its public profile, right? Because no one was paying attention to it for a while, and they couldn't do it. So, anyway, she started her solo protest outside Sweden's parliament in Stockholm on August 20th, 2018, and students around the world soon began following her lead. I wonder how many times she had to do her solo protest before she got enough media coverage from it that people started like actually paying attention to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Must have been like, think of the dedication really that she had to show.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she basically her blunt words to presidents and prime ministers peppered with scientific facts about the need to urgently cut greenhouse gas emissions have won her praise and awards, but also, of course, criticism and even death threats. Like, who the fuck? Like, it's crazy that somebody would actually have a death threat against a 17-year-old girl who cares so much about the environment. She's protesting solo.
Yeah, well, that's the internet. I mean, that's the social dilemma.
Mm-hmm. So basically, they demand that lawmakers stick to the 2015 landmark Paris climate deal that asks both rich and poor countries to take action to curb the rise of global temperatures that is melting glaciers, raising sea levels, and shifting rainfall patterns. It requires governments to present national plans to reduce emissions in order to limit global temperature rise to well below 2 degrees Celsius, I guess.
Oh my God, your voice got so low there.
Did it?
Could get below 2 degrees Celsius or something like that.
I thought you meant low, like.
No, low, like you did not believe what you were reading there. Like
I
it
think
went below 2 degrees Celsius.
I'm such a journalist. Okay. Interesting story. Shifting gears once again. The RCMP is facing accusations of discrimination regarding policy about to wear properly fitting medical grade face masks, which may not be possible with a beard. How do you feel about wearing a mask with a beard?
It doesn't. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Does it go close enough?
It's well, it's not like you're sealed on there, but
yeah.
I don't know. Doesn't the beard filter some of it out?
I don't think so.
Don't I have an N95 beard?
You should probably wash your beard well.
Well, in the beginning of this in March, I was recommended to shave it. It was like high risk, and I did. And then I haven't since.
Well, it's since. It says this has sparked calls for a change in policy after some frontline officers with beards, including Sikh and Muslim RCMP members, who leave their hair unshorn for religious reasons.
Huge beards, for sure.
Have been reassigned to desk duties.
Mm-hmm. Like mine is, I don't know. Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't know. I get because when I put the mask on and I go out, I look ridiculous because it's just like sitting on top of this puffy beard.
Puffy puff. Because yours is long.
Yeah.
How long would yours get, do you think?
I don't know. Never tested it. It doesn't stop growing.
Yeah. It would probably go like ZZ Top or something. What is ZZ Top doing? How are they tucking their beard in there?
Didn't they shave recently?
Oh, did
Wasn't
they?
that one of the things?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me look that up. ZZ Top shaves?
What about Amish people?
ZZ Top donate beards to charity. Make $14.75 million, I'm guessing. This is 2 years ago.
Whoa.
Hold on. ZZ Top donates beard to charity, makes $14.75. Oh yeah. Like 14, not 14.75 million. That would be
insane. I'm like, who the hell wants to pay
$14.70. That's hilarious. So this is an old story, but it's funny. It's 2 years old. Not quite. It'll be 2 years on October 29th. It says the WTF ZZ Top donates beards to charity, makes $14.75. I can't believe I guessed $14.75 million. I mean, are you? Is the
Like,
beard
who
of
wants
Jesus?
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
$14.75. Are you fucking kidding me? Says ZZ Top frontman Billy Gibbons in response to the financial totals he received from he and Dusty Hill
Why
having
did they
shaved
even
off their
tell
beards
anyone?
for charity. A measly $14.75. Our concert tickets cost like 10 times that amount. He elaborated angrily before presenting an oversized check to So they actually had to go through and present an oversized check
Oh my God.
to Hair for Tots Foundation with the amount of $14.75 on it. There were children crying everywhere and a complete and total lack of facial hair.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God! It was truly the most unfortunate day for the classic rock trio who had once ruled into the airways. Oh my God! Wow. Because this is far removed from the band's most legendary moment, where in 1984, the shaving company Gillette offered ZZ Top $1 million to shave their faces in mutually beneficial advertising campaign for both parties, providing not only that's imagine in 84 you sell it for $1 million. So you're like with inflation, yeah, maybe what's going on there?
Gordy? Hey. He's barking at something outside.
But this is doing a podcast from home, ladies and gentlemen. Hashtag the new normal. Hashtag I hate myself for using that. So yeah, anyway. What was the point of that? How did we get to a 2-year-old story about ZZ Top making under $15 for their beards?
Oh, because I was wondering how they tuck theirs into the mask.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well,
like who would want that? Who would want that beard hair anyway? Gross.
Yeah, smells of old cigars.
All kinds of stuff. Gross.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it says here Alberta doesn't feel like they're in
a second wave.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. What are the numbers?
So
because I heard it was Quebec, Ontario, Alberta, and BC.
Yeah. So they deny that they don't think that they're in a second wave. I'm just trying to find the article now. I'm like, wave.
Oh, you're like, Alberta is.
I know. I'm so sorry. That's so annoying.
That they are.
Well, their chief medical officer says that they feel that their numbers are rising, but that they don't consider it a second wave because they feel it's under control. So what indicates that? Like, it says here. So the numbers, they compared the numbers from April to September. So for instance, April 18th, there was 187 new cases and there were 3,801 tests completed. Okay. And
what? I'm so lost.
So
repeat that again.
In April, they just compared it. So in April,
yeah,
like for instance, one day in April, it's 187 cases and there was 3,800 tests completed. Okay. And in September, there's 111 cases.
Okay.
But there were almost 12,000 tests
that makes
completed.
Sense, yeah.
So there's it's just that there's more tests completed. So that's what they're trying to say.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I really summarized that because we're really, this is a long daily dose today.
Yeah. Well, it's all good. No, it's good though. It's,
it's interesting stuff. This is also, I tried to pick some really different things here. So there's a piece of art. It's a painting from Renaissance master Sandro Botticelli. It's going to go on auction. I sent you a picture of what it looks like if you want to put it on here. Yep.
Oh.
If you can. It's going to go on auction next year, and art watchers will be seeing if it fetches more than its eye-watering $80 million estimate, despite the pandemic. So it's a 15th century portrait of a nobleman in young man holding a roundel. I don't know what a roundel is. Is the highlight of Sotheby's Masters Week sale series in New York in January. Just the sheer beauty of this has been a joy, says Christopher Apostle, who has more than 3 decades handled the old master drawing sale and is now head of the division. I can't think of a Botticelli like this that's been on the open international market.
Okay.
So it was last acquired in 1982, and it was...
it's worth $80 million?
Yeah, well, that's what they're estimating it's going to go for. But when it was last acquired in an auction in 82, it went for the equivalent of just over $1 million. Like what they paid then would have been $1 million now. So I think that you think of the painting.
It's I don't know. It's like I don't know. I cannot assess art. I mean, we talked about this the other day with these ones that were like the one that was like just a red square and worth, $130 million. I don't know. It's fine. It looks good. You can tell it's old. That's old, so it's probably worth a lot of money. I have no idea.
I mean, there's something very cool. I'm sure, and I know you can appreciate this. There is something very cool about knowing that's from the 15th century.
Yeah.
But 80 million. Are there any doodles by regular people from the 15th century? How much would you
This is not a doodle.
No, I know.
Come on.
I know. I'm not even suggesting that. I just think even a doodle from 15th century would be a cool thing to see.
Oh, yeah.
Just because it's from so long ago. Here's some fun, silly news.
Fun.
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready for that right now. So a lot of people are obviously upset because people get obsessed with Halloween, eh?
Yeah.
People are obsessed. Like some people are really...
Grown adults get obsessed with Halloween.
Really. And I sent you some other pictures there, but don't reveal it until I actually say what it is. So a lot of families, really love Halloween and they get excited with their kids So anyway, a lot of Halloween, like, trick-or-treating has been canceled. Like here in Wakefield, there's a street that everybody goes to and they've had to cancel it. And I understand because it just makes it easier. Like you don't want to deal with all of that. But, you can show it now if you want. So this family has come up with a tube type of thing.
Oh yeah, I saw this.
Where you can, you saw it?
Yeah.
Where you can give the candy through this tube and you slide it down. The first thing that came to my mind when I saw this was, who are these parents? Like my mother scrambled last minute for my costume. Like I remember having the lamest costumes ever. Like I would go out as a baseball player. I'm like, am I not just wearing my uniform from softball that I played? And like, what? I'm a baseball player. It's like, yeah, we know you play baseball in the summer. Like I just played baseball like a few months ago and now I'm a baseball player. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so, they really do so much. Like it's all like fancy and they take out their glue gun and their all these crafts and they go and get the supplies and they're making this. So those kids are lucky.
Yeah.
So there's a suggestion for any parents that are with little kids who want to still trick or treat. But the thing is, I don't think a lot of people will go out. So even if you're into it, I don't know, is it worth it? Because like, who the hell's going to go out?
Right.
Huh?
I think, isn't it canceled?
Well, these people, I don't know. These people look like they're still going to want to do it. Anyway, that's your daily dose for today.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Daily Grant, Daily Dose. Get the news from coast to coast. Daily Dose, Daily Dose. All your news from coast to coast. All the news and headlines from Jen Grant.
So is Charles, he's just going to let us know when...
He is, yeah. He said he's going to shoot a text here, and he wants to know how long we're going to talk for.
When? Is he asking that now,
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever he wants. I don't know, 10, 15 minutes?
Okay.
It's hard to gauge those things, but we should have established that maybe before. Yeah, this episode, let me just remind you, this episode of The Julien Dionne Show is brought to you once again by Gringos Blazing Sauces. That's right, go to Gringos Blazing Sauces for, the most amazing hot sauces, salsas, grilling jellies, and hot sauces, and grilling jellies, and hot sauces, and grilling jelly. Are you gone? Oh, yeah. They're not grilling jellies. They're charcuterie jellies and grilling sauces and more. Gringos Blazing Sauces. Go there. It's honestly some of the best stuff you'll ever taste. Founder of the company, Doug Knight, chef by trade, is obsessed with finding the perfect balance between heat and flavor, and they nail it every single time. Gringos blazing sauces. Our fridge is full. Can't get enough of the stuff. We use it all meals. Dinner, breakfast, lunch, midnight snack. Gringos blazing sauces. It's they ship all over North America, and it's free shipping for orders over $40 in Canada. Also, listeners of this program get an additional 5% off at checkout by entering promo code JD5. That's right, JD5 at checkout. Yeah, you get 5% off. Gringos blazing sauces. Go there today. Do it. That was a bad ad. It just cut to the music after. You left. I didn't realize you were leaving.
Well, can you just No. It's an unwritten rule. I know it's all good.
Why do you freak anytime I mention it?
Well, it's all. Can we just? Well, because I don't want. You can't. No, you can't bring it up, and then I'm not allowed to comment about it.
But that tone is so like shiny, whiny.
Oh my God! Thanks.
Should we take a quick break?
I don't know why.
Play a song because I gotta use the bathroom.
Oh really? You're gonna leave?
Well, we'd play a song. I wouldn't. No, forget it.
Yeah. Is there a way to like? You know what we need to do? We need to have something on the screen.
I do. I have the regular image thing that we usually do. I'd put this up, as you can see right there.
Too bad we couldn't write something where it says "Be back shortly with Charlie Demers." You know?
Oh yeah, we could. Whatever. It's too late. Forget it.
Why don't you put, Jules?
Yeah.
Why don't you play the song, and then could you write something, like literally write something on a piece of paper and put it on your chair?
Well, oh yeah.
Do you want me to try? Yeah, let me try.
Try what? What do you mean?
To write, be back in like you know how they do in stores, be back in.
Yeah, that's okay.
5
yeah,
minutes?
I mean it's the same. Sure.
No, because then people know. Be back with Charlie Demers. One
Hold
second.
on. What do you do? What do you mean? Where are you going?
I'm
writing it right now.
Oh, okay.
Be back. It's like when you go to a convenience store and it's like it says be back in 10, but you're like, when did you leave?
Yeah, that's true.
Be back in 3 minutes with Charles. Maybe your handwriting would have been better, but hello?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Because I'm going to also connect the internet hardwire. I just threw out the wire out here. So, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever in Julien Dionne show with Jen Grant history, we're going to take a break and then come back with Vancouver's Charles Demers.
Okay.
How do you feel about that, Jenny?
I love it.
I think we should take a little. So here in keeping with the thing with this thing is I can't just like hold on. Thank you for being with us. Enjoy this mic track tune. I don't know where to put it. That's the thing. Hold on.
Put it on the back on your chair.
I know, but will you see it?
Put it on your microphone.
Oh, what if I do a
tape it to your microphone?
Tape. I don't have tape.
Do you have tape?
Hold on. If you're just joining us, it's because we're taking a quick break. I gotta use the bathroom. We're gonna play a song.
Oh my God. You don't have to tell people why.
Does this? Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Be back in 3 minutes. Okay. In a Julien Dionne show with Jen Grant first. Here we go. We're taking a quick break. Let me play a song, MIKE Plume. We'll play another MIKE Plume track as it's MIKE Plume month. Here we go. Let's play DiMaggio. We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen, after this.
Telephone rings way too much, but not nearly enough. With you on the other end of the line, she said, you know, you could still call me. Well, lately I've been thinking about everything, but something leaves me stranded in between. Yeah, I'm stranded in between. And she's my Marilyn Monroe, and I'm her Joe DiMaggio. Marilyn Monroe and DiMaggio. Never together, but forever linked. We're kinda like birds of a feather, baby. When our spirits start to sink, yeah, we're forever linked. She's my Marilyn Monroe, I'm her Joe DiMaggio. Marilyn Monroe and DiMaggio. Yeah, she's my Marilyn Monroe, I'm Joltin' Joe DiMaggio. Marilyn Monroe and DiMaggio. DiMaggio. DiMaggio.
All right. And we're back. Is Jen Grant with us?
Morning.
Good morning to you. Okay, we're back.
Morning sunshine.
That was our first ever break. All right, so basically just let me straighten this out a bit.
Okay.
All right.
So what are your plans for the weekend, Jules?
I've got to work on this script for this damn thing next week.
I thought you were going to enjoy it.
I am trying to enjoy it, but I don't know.
Trying, or you're going to enjoy it?
Yeah, you're right. I have to. It's like you said. I have to visualize. I have to start being in tune with. I don't know. I'm overthinking it, I think.
Yeah.
Well, now that you're in the same boat, you can kind of agree.
Yeah, I've decided not to freak out because what's the point?
Do you have all the details, by the way, for Charlie, his book, and all the social media things we can promote to our peeps here?
Yep, and we can always ask him everything about that as well.
Okay, great.
He actually isn't. I want to ask him about not being on social media too much.
Yeah,
he's
I'm always really impressed when a comedian is able to not be on social media. Because, again, we talked about it yesterday in great lengths, but, the dog.
I know. He's really annoying. That's the thing about doing it later.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about Far West Fridays, honestly. I don't know. I like the idea of it.
I know.
And that we can interview our friends from out west and all this, and but it's the internet sucks.
Yeah, I know.
And the dog is all over the place. I feel different.
I know, I do too.
It feels weird, right?
It does.
Why does it feel weird? Is it that we're such creatures of habit that we can't do a show 3 hours later?
I don't know.
I'm feeling all like disoriented and.
Would you say discombobulated?
I would agree with the assessment.
I agree. I don't like it.
Let me, by the way, I'm just going to do a quick thing right now and share this. Feel free. If you are with us watching, we're going to bring Charlie up here shortly. But I'm going to give a couple more shares just so we can have it.
Oh, I can also, I can read you.
Oh, do we have comments?
Not too many comments. I've already. Well, I could tell you you haven't seen any of the comments.
No.
But I was going to tell you a little bit about Charlie's. The reason I found out about Charlie's book is not through social media, which is kind of cool. I mean, we can save this for the interview if you want. Maybe I should.
How do you know Charlie, by the way?
I know. Well, that was my little. What was it? My panicked. Ad lib.
Oh, you already
earlier.
talked about it? Okay.
A little bit.
That's
I mean,
right.
but maybe there's new people here, but I know Charlie because I know him from Vancouver. He started doing comedy, I think, like maybe, I don't know, a year into me living in Vancouver, which was in 2004, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been doing it a long time, and right away it was good. Like, right away, he was good. He was one of those comics that you're like, oh my gosh, this guy's really clever, really good, and hilarious, like, off the get-go. And
I met Charlie once, and I bombed horrifically.
Oof.
It was.
Talk about it when you talk about to him, maybe.
Yeah, okay. I'll talk about it with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just met him once. But, yeah, he's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
Vancouver's I mean, after Toronto, Vancouver is a great comedy scene.
Mm-hmm. It is. He talks a little bit. He has an email. He sent out an email about this, and his book is
Oh, that's how you found out mailing lists?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what I want to do.
I know.
Go back to flip phone and mailing list.
We can.
Yeah, but then you're not. I mean, you're so forced, especially given the what we do for a living. You have to be across. The more social media platforms you are on, the better. It's exhausting, and I'm sick of it. The constant, nonstop self promo.
What about if
scrolling?
We've hired someone to do it. You don't need to do it.
Yeah, you're right. I guess you're right. Oh shit! You know what I forgot to do during the break?
What?
Is plug in the internet. Whatever. Today's episode is weird.
Well, Erica said I can't watch on FB. I don't know what she's saying.
Oh no?
No.
Are we not live anymore?
Looks like we are.
Let me see. Where?
I don't know. It just keeps saying error for her. Maybe you should reset the system real quick while we're waiting for Charlie.
Fuck, should we do another? This is it ends up being like this every time. It's a part 2. We do.
Why don't you just reboot it, and that way we can actually do an interview because it's all set up and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Well, I don't know, to do a whole part 2 thing.
Well, it just says keep.
I'm seeing it live right now. I'm seeing it.
Yeah, I know, but she's saying it says error when she's watching it. I'm going to tell her to try refreshing it.
Hold on. Let me do this real quick. All right. Jen.
Yeah.
Let's just have fun with it. Okay. I don't know why I'm acting like there's all this pressure and all the, it's fine.
Melanie says, yes, you are. She says, I am watching. Laura says, I got you.
Okay. All right. So we are live. We got that.
Laura says, just to let you know, we don't notice the lags or the dog's input to the show.
Oh, well, no, that is good to know because then I want to address it every single time it happens. Okay. Let me. It's
really, you know what? It's challenging because when you see that somebody's saying it's bad, we get paranoid that it's not on.
Yeah.
Live. Anyway, maybe we should just keep plugging through no matter what. Maybe we should have a new policy, This
is what we'll do. We're going to plug in no matter what. Plug through, I mean. And, but first, let me do this. I'm going to play this song real quick from MIKE Plume from their 2008 album. Here's My Old Friend. We'll be back, and, the screen's going to be on, but here we go.
You came back again on a wayward wind from out Alberta way. I never thought I'd see you again, my old friend. Well, I never will forget how we'd smoke cigarettes up behind the school. I wish I never knew now what I never knew then. My old friend, tell me where did the years go, my old friend? Like dry tears or melted snow, it sure is good to see you again, my old friend. Some say we were too young, well I guess for some, yeah we might have been. Well, how are we to know just how it all would end? My old friend, tell me where have the years gone, my old friend? Like scattered leaves upon a lawn, it's good to see you again, my old friend. It sure is good to see you again, my old friend. Now time goes by so fast, you turn around, it's past, it won't be back again. We're using phrases like back in the day and way back when. My old friend, as you roll west across the plains, my old friend, yeah, the rest of us remain here in Kings County until you come home again, my old friend. Good to see you again, my old friend, my old friend.
All right. Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay, here we go.
You okay?
Yeah, it's just we've never taken breaks, and today we take 2.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's fine, right? We gave you some MIKE PLUME, my old friend, but MIKE PLUME from.
We got to hear Mike like 3 times today.
I know. All right.
That's great.
Let's get him on the line right now. I believe.
Charlie Demers.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, week 2 of Far West Fridays continues with Vancouver-based comedian and author Charlie Demers. Let me just make sure we are on the air with them. Can you hear us, Charlie? Charles.
I can hear you. How are you?
Hey, buddy. Good to. Yeah, good. How are you?
Hi, Charlie.
I'm excellent. Thank you very much for having me.
Hey, thanks for doing this.
My pleasure.
By the way, do you prefer Charlie or Charles?
Charlie's good for the conversation, and then the book will be found by searching Charles, or so it might be good for the intro or extra for Charles, but it's really I'm not particular.
Yeah, I'm so used to calling you Charlie. So, with comedy, do you go by Charlie?
Uh-oh. Did I mute it? Did something happen?
Know.
Oh, hello?
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're experiencing some internet issues this morning. I don't know why.
Can you hear me, Charlie?
Okay, no problem.
Charlie, can you hear me? Okay, well, he can't hear me, Jules.
Oh, weird. Why can't...
So maybe explain it to him.
I'm so sorry. So can you hear Jen at all?
I can't, no.
Oh, shit. Okay, hold on one sec. Let me see what's going on. And, okay, what about now, Jen? Try now.
Hi, Charlie?
Yes, now I can hear Jen.
Okay.
Yay.
There we go.
Hello. I was like, I'd said earlier that I'm so used to calling you Charlie. But I wondered if...
Oh, yeah. No, Charlie's...
Yeah. Are you still doing stand-up, though, right?
I mean, in my life, I'm still doing stand-up. I'm not still doing stand-up in any kind of active.
Have you done anything
way.
since March, since the lockdown kind of started? Have you done any shows?
I think I've done probably 4 shows, maybe. Like I did maybe 4 or 5 shows over the course of the summer.
That's way more than me. I've not done one since February.
Really? Yeah.
It's crazy.
And
I didn't.
Were they?
How about you, Julien?
Yeah, I've done a couple in front of audiences, like social distancing with like plexiglass, and between the stage and the audience, and a few Zoom shows, but I mean not much, like 8 or 10 since the restrictions have been lifted. But now I feel like that's gonna go down again. I feel like. It's going to pull back because we were kind of like in a little honeymoon stage there with in between, things were kind of getting back.
Yeah.
But now we're slowly like on the verge of a second wave, and some stuff is getting canceled already. So, I mean, I don't know.
So Julien does French comedy, Charlie too. So it seems that French comedy is way more active. They're doing way more things and getting creative.
Yeah, I've done one English thing, and then in French, a lot of things in French are happening. They're doing these crazy big Zoom shows. There's this Wi-Fi comedy club in Montreal at Place des Arts, which is just on stage in this big theater, but there's like 6 screens. It's very Black Mirror, very dystopian future. There's like 6 screens surrounding. You can't even see where the audience would be sitting. And but basically on the screens, each screen is divided into 32 squares, and there's just people at home, and you can hear them, and it's very bizarre. There's like 6 cameras, and it's a full thing, but it really feels like we're living in an episode of Black Mirror.
Holy moly! That sounds very. So the last show that I did before like lockdown stuff started was the first show I ever did in French. Like I was doing the Juste pour rire came to town, and I did a set in French for the first time ever. And,
cool.
And then
how'd it go?
It was like, okay, get into your house for 6 months.
Yeah.
That's what it was like. And I had just been thinking like, maybe I could start doing this. Who knows, man? This could. And then it was like, no, you don't do stand up anymore.
Right.
Nobody does. So yeah, I don't know. It's and I've been somewhat resistant to the trying like the adjusted like I haven't done any no, that's not true. I did one show. I did a thing with my friend who's a musician. She and I did a show over Zoom, but that was kind of like we did sort of like a late night show, like where we arranged a couple of interviews, and I did like a monologue, and we had like 4 people in the room. But yeah, it's been an uncanny year. And I mean, last week, the Winnipeg Festival, which I was booked to do in April, decided to go ahead for October. And so, I'm supposed to be taping a set for TV, and it's like, I haven't done stand up. So yeah, I don't know.
Are we on? Sorry, go ahead.
Are we on air, by the way?
Yeah, we're live. We're live right now on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope and Twitch, and then available.
Well, so what I meant to say was that I am ready to kick some ass and take some names in Winnipeg.
You know what, Charlie? I just to make you feel a lot better, and I thought about whether I should say I haven't been doing any stand up or anything either, because I'm doing Winnipeg too, and I've not done a show since February 27th. So not one. So, but I'm doing material that I'm, familiar with.
And the first setback is after a 7-month break for TV. But you know what helps?
Thought, Jules, I just want to finish this. If anybody heard that, like for instance, I'd be like, well, if you're not comfortable with that, then don't have me on. But there's literally nothing I can do about it. And I was talking to Erica Sigurdsson, our mutual friend, hilarious comedian. She said we're all in the same boat. Like, no, Winnipeg is not expecting people to be. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the same boat, including at this point the audience is really in on it because everybody realizes how crazy everything is, and the audience is forced to either social distance and in some cases watch the show through plexiglass. So the audience is also in on it. So that does relieve a bit of the pressure. Like we were just talking about this before you came on, Charlie. But if, like in Jen's case, if everyone was still doing stand-up on a regular basis, and then you had to do the Winnipeg Comedy Festival after a 7-month break, and you were the only one, it would be stressful as fuck. But
yes,
we're all in this together, so it kind of, I don't know. I find it kind of helps.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, this might serve as a useful segue into chatting about the book. But on my very first live performance back, I kind of had this. I don't know exactly what it was that I was thinking of, but I think it was something along the lines of like, well, I can't do any old material from before the pandemic because that'll feel like a lie. Like it's just life has changed too much. I can't. I'm just so grateful to be back on stage, and I'll just kind of reconnect with the audience in a kind of intimate way. And then I got up on stage and, really had quite a mediocre set, as of course you would. Like it's not, it's and I got off and started having just this like massive panic attack. And I got into the car and I'm driving home, and I didn't, typically I got home. I didn't have any of my like anti-anxiety pills with me or anything like that. So I get home, and by the time I get home, I'm like hyperventilating. I walk into the house, and the dog is kind of like, the dog can read that there's something wrong with the situation. Like, she's like, this is not how you usually inhale oxygen and nitrogen. This is this is different about you. So yeah, it's but it's the performing thing is just, it's just lining up all your different like adrenaline stuff in a way that is very different from the kind of slow burn anxiety of the way we've all been like reading the news and huddling in the house for the last few months. I mean, those of us who've been lucky enough to get to huddle in the house, as opposed to having to slog out into this to make a living, meat packing or running groceries through a scanner.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, it's a privilege to be able to self-isolate for sure.
And so is that when you decided you were going to write a book? How long?
Yeah, tell us about your writing career and what's happening. And this book sounds really cool. And I heard about it through your newsletter, your email. So I'm really glad that you have that, because there's a lot of questions I want to ask you. We just watched The Social Dilemma. I want to find out if that inspired you to stop being on social media, or if you already wanted to get off of it and now you have an email newsletter. And also like just tell us about the book and however you want to.
But yeah, first, sure. I want to ask that. Yeah, Jen, that's a good thread. How are you? I really admire this, and I'm really envious that you are able to have a successful career as a comedian, but be limited on your social media accounts. How do you pull that off? Like Jen said, was that a conscious thing for a while, or is that new?
So it's before you congratulate me, let's see if it works. But
right.
Thank you. I've been off of Facebook for about 3 years now, and I got off Twitter about 2 years ago. And this summer, I finally kind of cut the cord with Instagram. And Instagram was the sort of last holdout for me, and I didn't know about this the social dilemma. I actually just heard about this documentary, so I'm actually quite excited to watch it, because I do feel like, so a big part of the decision was that I really do feel, and I don't want to be preachy about this, and I don't want to be like, because I understand that it can be really fun, and it can also, like, people need it for their jobs, or feel that they need it for their jobs, or like it's really, I'm really not trying to climb the mountain and piss down. Like it's I just genuinely at this point think, like, the results are in. It's really, really harmful. Like, from what I, just looking around at what society looks like after, about 15 years of social media. And obviously social media is not the only thing to happen in that time. We've now in that 15 years had two almost depression level financial crashes. I don't want to be simplistic about it, but I do think that any attempt to deny the role that social media has played in eroding our ability to communicate with each other, our ability to just sort of function as a heterogeneous democratic society. I just really think it's a very damaging thing. And
I can't wait for you to see this documentary, because
it's exactly what you're saying, and you're bang on about it. And you can, I mean, just by like, each person can come to this conclusion just by really listening or being aware of how you feel after a session of scrolling. It's never better. You're never like, I'm so glad I just spent a half hour wasted on social media. I feel so much better about everything. I mean, that never happens.
That was a major factor in my deciding. So 3 years ago, that was something that I felt about Facebook. I was like, I have never once felt better after being on. And then the thing this summer with Instagram, because Instagram for a long time felt different. And I felt like, I'm just sharing pictures of my kid, and I get to see what other people are doing in their lives. And then at some point this summer, I realized that rather than making me feel closer to people I wanted to feel closer to, being on Instagram was actually making me feel further from people I actually knew that I really liked. And the straw that broke the camel's back for me, in terms of the Instagram thing, was watching the week of the black and white photo challenge. That whole thing that we do, or that people do on social media, where first every woman I know is like peer pressured into posting a black and white photo of herself, and hashtagging it with this self-empowerment thing about why she's posting it, and then the inevitable, like, backlash thing comes. In this case, it was this thing about Turkish women, and how this whole thing had been co-opted, and so then all these people I know are posting these either like, you should be ashamed of yourself and blah blah blah, or people are posting these, I'm so sorry, I didn't realize, and then the Taylor Lorenz, the New York Times internet reporter, who does a little digging and discovers there's nothing at all to the Turkish story. Like, it's not how the black and white photo challenge started. The black and white photo challenge has been going on and off for several years. It shows up and then disappears on the internet. Sometimes it's associated with one thing, sometimes it's associated with another. So it's like people were going through this whole cycle of chiding each other and feeling guilty and feeling whatever, and there was no basis for it at all. And I was just, I was watching this process, and I just thought, like, this is insane that, like, we've all signed on to this thing where you show up, you get forced to participate in the thing, then you get berated for participating, and then you make it a public, mea culpa, profession of public guilt for what you've done. And I just think we've gotten so comfortable with these, like, ritualized humiliations and these weird, like, and the dynamics of it are just so crazy. And I've been off now of Instagram for 2 months, and I have missed it not 1 second of that time. There's been not one moment.
Yeah, you realize when you cut it out of your life how it's actually a hindrance more than anything. But it's funny you say that about the Turkish black and white picture story, because the same exact thing happened with Blackout Tuesday, the black squares everybody was posting for BLM, which was not the original cause. The original was like for black artists to take a day off so that they could miss, content from black artists and how they played a role. But that was washed away by people posting hashtag BLM with the black square. And then those people that posted that were then shamed because they were drowning out the original BLM hashtag with all those black squares that was not even the original cause to begin with. So it's all this thing of, like, first we're all jumping on this cause, then it's not even the real cause, and then there's this backlash for having jumped on the cause. And like you, I really had pegged Instagram in a separate kind of silo, but here in Quebec, there's a lot of anti-mask protests more than anywhere in Canada, and a lot of that stems from Instagram. A lot of conspiracy theories, and I had no clue that this whole world existed, but that kind of for me was a disillusioning moment. But I just admire that you're even attempting to do this, especially like we said, in this field that we do in entertainment and show business, because we're one of those people that I feel like I need it for my job, and
well, so I will say, like, I got more response to this. I sent an email because I found myself in this place where this book is coming out, and the book was supposed to come out in the spring, and we held it off because of that was just when COVID was breaking in Canada, and it just felt like right now we're all concentrated on something else, and let's hold it off until the fall. And I had made this decision in the summer, and I asked the publicist with the book, I said, can I do this? I mean, I don't want to hamstring what you're doing. And they were like, look, this is a book about mental health. Like, you can't, we're not going to ask you to stay in a toxic environment to promote a book about mental health. I mean, it's like totally hypocritical. So I said to him, I thought to myself, like, well, but I need to be able to let people know. So I sat down and I wrote an email that I sent to 500 people. And I when I quit Twitter, I had about 12,000 followers. When I quit Instagram, I had a little over 3,000 people on my Instagram. And on Facebook, I think I had about 2,500 friends, or something like that. I got more engagement and like genuine human, like real from sending that email to 500 people. They were 500 people who I knew.
Mm-hmm.
They were people who wrote back in their dozens. I mean, that email took up big parts of the next 3 or 4 days of my life, because
that's awesome.
I wrote people back, whatever. I mean, it was, but the amount that came out of that, I mean, right now the conversation we're having is one part of it, but the way that people turn off what they see on Twitter, what they see on Instagram, because it's like walking through the bazaar and having people go, hey, you want to buy this? You want to buy that? Like,
yeah,
it's all that you're seeing.
Right.
And, one of the things when I quit Twitter and I thought, well, can I do this? I've got books to sell. Then I thought, I buy hundreds of books a year and have never once bought a book because of something I saw on Twitter.
Oh, I love this.
Not once in my life.
This is great to hear, because it's a good reminder. Yeah.
It is a good reminder, and it's also just tapping into those more personal ways of communicating. Like email is just so like when email came out, it was the phone was then glorified as like, oh my God, you know how personal a phone call is? It's crazy. And then social media came out, and the same thing happened with emails. Like, wow, you get an email, it's like so much more personal and direct, and I think people respond to that. And it's good to know that people still do, despite maybe social media taking over as a primary way to reach people. And you're right, with algorithms and the way things are designed, even with 2,500 friends on Facebook or 12,000 Twitter followers, you're only really shown to, or you only see people, like a small percentage of those people will actually regularly see your content. So you're kind of banging your head against the wall in a way too.
And I feel like you're maybe standing out when you send an email now. Like before, people used to always get emails, Now you'll stand out because it's not as many people are doing that, and it feels like it's more genuine. Plus, I hadn't seen an email from you in a long time, so I was like, oh my God, Charlie, so nice to hear from you. And I have to point out that Erica Sigurdsson, who I mentioned earlier, funny comedian, has a funny comment here on the feed. She says, the irony of me wanting to delete my FB right this second, but not wanting to stop listening to Charlie.
Yeah. What? Maybe we should start. We should start the first ever email podcast, only available through email.
I love it. Okay.
The book is called Primary Obsessions. When did you start writing this, Charlie? To me, writing a book seems like the most daunting thing in the world.
I'm so intrigued by this.
Yeah. So when did you start writing it?
Well, thank you. I think it was about like maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. I was actually trying to figure the math out. Because the whole thing's been thrown off because it was supposed to come out in April. We had all the. I mean, it was printed. It was ready to go. I actually had my copies. And a trickle of reviews actually started coming out in the spring because people had been sent their advanced copies, and so I think it was probably about two years ago. I wrote this. It's hopefully it's the first in a series. I mean, I've the contract is for 2 books in the series. And then we'll see what happens from there. In North America, it's Douglas and McIntyre who are putting the book out, and I'm thrilled. I've worked with them before. They're a wonderful publisher, and for the first time, I've actually secured a UK publisher. So the books will be coming out in Britain from Legend. Okay. So I just set about writing a mystery novel with an amateur sleuth detective, and the detective is based on inspired by the real life psychologist who I've been seeing for close to 17 years now. And so, it's a bit of a tribute to her, and the book is dedicated to her. It's dedicated to her anonymously as a bid to sort of keep a little bit of my confidentiality, but it's got a little bit of a tribute to this woman who really kind of saved my life, and
so great.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Well, I can't wait to read it because I love a good murder mystery. And can I ask, I'm just reading some of your reviews, by the way, on Goodreads. One lady said, "It's a good thing I'm relatively fast reader because I couldn't go to bed until I finished this one. Here's only a few of the things I liked about this book. The witty, snappy writing, the presence of thoughtful, intelligent women. Was that a conscious choice, Charlie?"
Is that about this book?
Yeah.
This person's right. Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, it says the pacing, chop, chop. I could barely spare the time to lick my finger to turn the page.
Oh, that is.
She should not be licking her fingers in a pandemic.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It's I definitely, I didn't have to make any special effort to make her a strong woman because the woman she's based on is so incredible. But it definitely, I loved being able to tell a story about a person like this, so yeah. I mean, I'm so thrilled to hear that's how it landed. I'm also very lucky to have worked with Caroline Skelton, who was my editor on it, and I actually am a very, very big believer in male authors working with female editors. I think, and especially if you've got a female hero, it's a very good because I think it's a great way to make sure that you've if you're writing in a blind spot or you've got something that just absolutely doesn't ring true across a gender divide. And there were a few moments where I think Caroline helped me with stuff like that as well. I'm just thrilled to hear that response to the book. That's really, really nice.
Oh, so you hadn't read that review yet?
No, that's you can't tell, but I'm blushing.
Well, I just it's funny because as I was asking you if you made that a conscious choice, it is kind of a crazy question that we even have to talk about that. Like, well, what the heck? I mean, we should be further in 2020. As of 2020 now, why do I have to ask that question? You know what I mean? Like, did you consciously choose to represent women in an intelligent way? It's like, well, why do we even have to ask that question? Right. It's ridiculous.
No, it's. I think it's. Sadly, we all know why you had to ask it, and it's an unfortunate reality, and I loved that she was the hero of this story in a way that was really true of how the doctor who inspired her was a hero in mine. I mean, I am not, I was never, in this novel, her patient is arrested for a crime that she's convinced he could not have committed, but she's not able to go to the police or go to anyone because of doctor-patient confidentiality, which is why she has to sort it out on her own. And I mean, obviously, nothing like that immediately dramatic or high stakes happened for me in my experience with the real life version of this doctor. But the real life version of this doctor did save my life with her intelligence and her compassion and her professionalism. And so I did want to capture that because those happen to be the things that I think are the most amazing and compelling about her. And so yeah, it felt like and you know, it's an amazing relationship to have with a person, to have someone as your therapist for so long, because you feel like you know them super well, but then there are these huge parts of their life that you'll never know.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And so you in this way, I got to imagine a 360-degree version of her life. That I had to be very clear, both with her and with myself as I was writing, that Anique, the character in the book, is a fictional creation. She lives in the books. She's her own character. But her starting off point is definitely this person who I just feel this incredible debt to.
Yeah, I also had a therapist who I really feel that changed my life. I'm so grateful that I was able to meet her, and I met her in a way. Someone recommended me to her, and I feel so lucky that I had the chance to go. Early on in my comedy career, didn't have a lot of money. She was nice enough to have a sliding scale, because you can tell when you go to a therapist that you connect with that they really are doing it because they feel it's a calling and something they genuinely care to help people. And I needed that so bad, so I can relate to that. That's for sure.
It's wild that there's still such a stigma with therapists when so many people can benefit from them. I mean, people that would probably think otherwise themselves. It's like, I heard this quote a while ago. It's like, if your car breaks down, you don't attempt to fix it. You bring it to a mechanic. But the human mind, we're like, no, I got this. I'm good. Like I'll muscle my way through this. But I mean, they are life-changing, as Jen said.
Even like if the human foot is broken, you wouldn't try and it's just
right.
It's this completely arbitrary decision that we made as a culture, that this one part of who you are. I do think we are getting a lot better as a society about seeing the benefit of this kind of care, and not only for people in the most sort of acute need, but for people who will sometimes need. Not everybody's going to need to see a cognitive behavioral therapist for 17 years. The way I have. Some people are going to, need to see somebody for 3 or 4 months while they deal with the situational depression of a really bad breakup, or a loss of a job, or just an inexplicable an inexplicable sort of chemical moment in their lives where things just aren't lining up and the synapses aren't firing, and they just need that jump start, and maybe that'll be the only time in their life when they'll need it. But in the same way that there are people who have chronic conditions that mean going to see specialists or their GP in a regular way, and other people go to the doctor once or twice every year, or every couple of years, when something acute is happening. But I think we're more and more entering into a place as a culture where we're seeing the benefits of that kind of that kind of treatment, and I think also maybe even getting to a place where we can, in a more sophisticated way, say, there's psychiatric care, which is more and more associated with the meds, and that's a very important piece of mental health. And then there's also psychological care, which can be talk therapy, or it can be cognitive behavioral therapy, or any other number of treatments. But in my case, cognitive behavioral therapy has been life-changing.
Have you tried any other kinds, like talk therapy, or did you go straight to cognitive behavioral?
So I started in CBT, and I have also done meds. I've done both prescription medication that I take on a regular basis, and I've also done like anti-anxiety medications that I just take as needed. I still do the as needed. I don't take any antidepressants anymore, although I do take for my migraines. I take a pill that actually is an early generation antidepressant. So technically,
is that right?
it is. It's called nortriptyline. So it's very rarely prescribed as an antidepressant anymore, but it is prescribed as a prophylactic migraine prevention. So I take it for that. But it's possible that there's some runoff positive effects on the depression as well from that. And I have done I've done talk therapy as well on some other stuff. But I find as a storyteller, both as a comedian and as a writer, talk therapy for me is I can get a little bit too in love with the sound of the story that I'm telling, and really get interested.
Yeah, it becomes a performance almost. You can fall into that trap for sure. Because I've done both talk and CBT, and I thought after doing talk and then going into CBT, I was like, oh, there's work. I actually have to do work. I'm not just gonna sit and talk and then someone tell me why I just said the things that I said. I'm like, oh, I actually gotta go back and investigate certain thoughts and break it down and actually do some heavy lifting on my end.
Yeah, and as comedians, I think we're all pretty used to figuring out a way to be charming, and even to the idiosyncrasies and even our ugliest, darkest sides, our kind of charming face to the world, right? And one of the cool things about cognitive behavioral therapy is it's you'll do a little bit of talking, and you'll figure out, that's maybe why you feel that, or that's maybe why you feel this. But as my doctor often says, look, we're all pretty much chemistry sets. You walk through life, you go through various experiences. They jostle the chemistry set in a certain way. What's really important is what you can do now that you're in the given situation that you're in. And like you said, Julien, this is you then have to sit down and do the actual work, and it's sometimes really painful, and it's sometimes really repetitive, and the worst part is that sometimes it involves sitting and doing nothing, and allowing the anxiety to build, and learning to realize that anxiety will go away on its own.
Yeah, powerful stuff, man. I hope anybody that's out there it can help, even just us talking about it right now. Jen, do we have any questions for Charlie in the comments or anything like that?
We don't right now, but we could ask people if they would like to ask a question.
If you do have any questions, I just don't want to take up too much of your time. You've been so generous so far, and so the book. Where's the book?
Erica, can I just say? Erica
Yeah.
says, "Oh, not all comedians have figured out how to be charming." Hi, zinger. I have a question. In terms of actually following through and like, what was the feeling like when you finished it and actually did it and followed through? Because there's a lot of, it's easy to talk a big game about the things you want to do. Many people want to write books. How do you actually like do it and finish it? And what did you do to actually have I'm impressed you did it in just a year and a half. Like that's crazy. So did you have like a work regimen? Did you make yourself sit down and do it? Was that hard? What was that process like?
So I mean, this is now book number 6 for me. So it's a much more regular or normalized part of my life, in the same way that, like, when you're trying to get that first hour of stand up together, it's like, this thing that will take the rest of your life, or it feels like this sort of unsurmountable thing. And then when you can do 45 minutes, you feel like you've climbed Mount Everest, and then it becomes this thing that you can feel very satisfying, but it also is something you sort of expect out of yourself, that you've sort of normalized as something that you have to do. So I still like absolutely get a thrill out of the experience of finishing a book, but I've been waiting a long time to hear what people think of this book. So it's really not until now that you hit, like, when you're reading that Goodreads, like, and you think about how we're built as comedians, where it's like, you think up something at lunch that might be funny. You can try it after dinner and see if you're right. And like, that's how immediate the feedback is. Whereas, like, with writing a book, it's you and your laptop for months, and then it goes to your editor, and then it comes back to you, and you're alone with it again for a while, and then it goes back to your editor, and maybe you chat about it with the editor for a little bit, and then it disappears. It goes to the printer, like, you won't see it for months, and then all of a sudden, when people want to talk about it, is when it comes out, and you have to get yourself revved back up, because it's like, it's this thing that you completely, it's like, no, I'm done. Like, I wrote that book a long time ago. And so the last few weeks have been fun for me, because it's this moment of, like, getting back interested in this world again. So for me, with the I have relatively recently, over the last few years, in book writing, I still don't really do this much in my comedy, although I will do it in any kind of like a script situation or anything like that. I've really become devoted to outlines. Very detailed outlines. And so I usually will kind of sit with a blank piece of unlined paper. I always draw the same line down the middle of it, which becomes then like the spine of the story, like the storyline. I start thinking about what the story looks like out of that. And then usually the actual writing, like the typing, for me happens in about like 1.5 to 2 hour sessions or chunks, in which I'll write about 1,500 to 2,000 words. Like, that'll be about the length of the chapter.
Okay.
And so usually I'll sit down at the beginning of a session. I'll because of the outline, I'll have a pretty good idea of what needs to be accomplished in that chapter. And and then if I'm writing an essay, it's the same thing. Like, what needs, what I'm trying to do in that essay, and then try and write that unit.
Okay.
And it's tough because I'm a family man now. My daughter's 6.5 now, so we now are more plugged into the regular rhythms of society because of school and stuff like that. And I tend to write at night. Like, that's always been the way that if like out of that hour and a half or 2 hours, I'm going to get the most out of it. If that 2 hours is like from about 10:30 until about 12:30, 1 in the morning, like that's going to be the most like fecund, fertile time. But oftentimes now, those 2 or 3 hours are sometime in the afternoon.
Okay.
Well, that to me sounds incredibly daunting, and I'm impressed. I can't wait to read it, man.
I'm going to order it right now.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate this.
Charles, thank you so much. And the book, once again, is Primary Obsessions by Charles Demers out of Vancouver. Cannot wait to read it. And is there anything, I guess there's no social media to plug. Are you are you on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I was. Follow me on Wikipedia.
Yeah. You have a website, right?
Yeah, I do have a website, charliedemers.com. Although, as I got an email from Ali Hassan yesterday or the day before. He was very kindly putting together an introduction for a CBC LOL airing, and he's like, dude, every link on your website is broken. So I do have to go back, and now that I'm not on the other stuff, I really do have to make sure the website is a going concern. So
especially because people will want to join your mailing list so they can be
exactly
up to date on what's happening with everything Charlie.
And I'm going to put the link to buy your book. I found it on Douglas and McIntyre website. Would that be a good place, or would you?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. No, that's great. Thank you.
Okay. Definitely.
And it'll be it's the release date is tomorrow technically. If you it's in physical stores now, but if you order it online, it will be it'll be available tomorrow. So the pre-order is it'll start shipping tomorrow. So yeah, don't be daunted by that.
All right, well, go check it out, everybody. Charles, thank you so much, buddy. Great chat, and
thank you guys.
We'll talk to you. We'll talk to you soon. Be safe out there, man.
Yeah, Charlie, I want you to know you've inspired me to. I like your work ethic with your book writing, and also you're really inspiring me to get off social media. I like it.
Oh,
so thank you for that. Yeah, thanks. It was really nice catching up.
So great to talk to you. Thanks so much for having me, you guys.
Okay, man. We'll talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.
There he goes, Charles Demers, or Charlie Demers. That was great. That was a great chat about his book, Primary Obsessions. Go check that out, and about mental health and all that, and social media. It's funny that he quit social media and stopped all that while, and then the social dilemma. We've been talking about this. This has been the through thread all week.
Yeah,
the through line.
It really has.
Well, that was fun. I love that.
Accidentally posted my shopping cart instead of the proper link, so.
Oh. Just 1 sec. I just want to make sure. All right. Well, this was a fun, disjointed, discombobulated, weird episode.
It was weird.
But we got through it. We took 2 breaks. We threw to some MIKE Plume music. First time I had to use the bathroom. Second time to connect the internet. Physically plug it in the wall, see if that would help. This is week 2 of Far West Fridays. I don't know. It's kind of weird. There was a reason we went to 7 a.m.s 7 a.m. starts in the first place, and it is because of the internet where we live. And so, I don't know. We'll be back next week for week 3 of Far West Fridays. Of course, we'll be back on Monday at our regular time of 7 a.m. For the Julien Dionne show with Jen Grant. But we'll see after 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm glad because we wanted to do it every Friday. I'm glad we decided on 4 weeks just to test out all the tech and the glitches and everything. And who knows? Who knows? But there it is. Week 2 with Charlie Demers, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. Jen, did you have anything to add?
No, I'm good. That was really
fun. And we learned that we can take breaks and it's not the end of the world. That's a big takeaway from this.
Yeah, and maybe we'll have like fun. We'll like get better at having fun ways of showing what's coming up, and like I don't know what you're able to do with the screen, but it would be really nice when the song's playing to say.
Yeah, we can definitely. We can easily. We can do that. No problem. Thank you very much, everybody.
Have a great
We are the
weekend.
Julien Dionne Show live on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitch, and Daily Motion Mondays through Fridays at 7 a.m. Far West Friday, week 2 of 4. That's a wrap. That's it, everybody. Check us out on social media, wherever you get this. Jen Grant, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I love you, and we'll see you. When will we see you? Just Monday morning at 7 a.m. All right, everybody. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend, and as always, watch your head.
Waste of time, a beautiful waste of time. Waste of time. I went to school, yeah, I learned a lot. Got a degree in what I'm not. You spend your life looking for what you already got. Such a beautiful waste of time. Waste of time. A beautiful waste of time. It's just a waste of time. Wandering eyes and itchy feet. I'm just a thin, nervous shadow walking backwards down the street. The landing is bitter, but the falling is oh so sweet. It's just a waste of time. A beautiful waste of time. It's just a waste of time. The whole world wants a piece of my head, but they all get a piece of my mind instead. I roll over and go back to bed. It's such a beautiful waste of time. A waste of time.